Our story begins far up in the north of Finland, in the Lapland wilderness, in the early twilight behind the snow-covered mountains. At this early hour, somewhere a child is born. A small child begins its life. A new life has begun. This story is about man in need of help, and it's also a story about an organization whose aim it is to provide assistance in time of need, at home as well as abroad. A story about the Finnish Red Cross, its work in the community of today, and about volunteers who participate in this work. An obvious symbol for this work in Finland is the Red Cross Cottage Hospital, situated more than 250 miles north of the Arctic Circle. It serves in Lapland the inhabitants of the frontier region between Finland and Norway. The work of this solitary cottage hospital is in miniature the work and the aims of the Red Cross, which the President of the Finnish Red Cross, General A.E. Martola, in his speech summarized as follows. The Red Cross, which was originally established from the wish to help wounded soldiers without discrimination of any kind during war, gives its efforts today to prevent and lessen human sufferings nationally and internationally. It wants to further mutual understanding, friendship, cooperation, and constant peace among all people. The work of the Red Cross reaches today every part of the world. No difference is made between nation, creed, religion, social position, or political opinion. The watchword of its work is versatility, but its forms of work have one common feature. They each originate from the same leading idea: mutual assistance and common responsibility among people. According to these principles, the Finnish Red Cross works as a national society among more than 100 sister organizations.
Yli 100 sisarjärjestönsä joukossa.
The daily work at the Red Cross is a continuous series of attempts to fulfill its aims. But there are also festive occasions which for a while interrupt the work and gather to a meeting the members of the organization as well as those who support it, including even the President of Finland. The working day becomes a holiday in honor of those who've laid the foundation of the Finnish Red Cross and its activity today. An accident may happen at any time. It doesn't choose time or place. It doesn't care if it's a working day or a holiday. It always comes unexpectedly. This time, it's happened to a skier to whom Lapland's landscape has rapidly changed from beauty to barren hostility. It's a question of saving a human life, a race between rescuers and nature. The message that there's a person in need of help in the wilderness starts the life-saving machinery at once. For extensive searches, the local authorities need the assistance of volunteers. For such events, we have in Finland a rescue service system. In the establishment and development of this system, the Finnish Red Cross has played a central role. In all its work, The Finnish Red Cross cooperates closely with the authorities and various other organizations. Thus, it's possible to gather all resources so that they can most efficiently serve the community as a whole. The rescue service has once more won the race in the wilderness. The search patrol has found the skier. Help has arrived in time. The most urgent first aid can be given in the field. At last, the lost man is carried out of the wilderness by the Finnish Red Cross own helicopter. The acquisition of the helicopter for rescue and ambulance services was possible thanks to contributions from thousands of Finns. Rescue from real emergencies requires both an organization in readiness and individuals and groups with adequate training. Such groups or units capable of rendering sufficient assistance are the Finnish Red Cross first aid groups, whose members have acquired their first aid knowledge by attending the Finnish Red Cross courses and training camps. At these training camps, which operate under both summer and winter conditions, the members supplement the basic knowledge gained at previous courses and acquire experience from teamwork. The first aid groups across the country form an important part of the voluntary rescue service. The purpose of the training program is constantly to increase the preparedness of the first aid groups. The groups are expected to be quick and capable of action in the most varying conditions, both day and night, in inhabited areas as well as in the backcountry. The service of the first aid groups extends also to duties during sporting and other public events. They also play an important part as supporting groups for the Red Cross ambulance services. The rescue operations at major emergencies require very close cooperation between the participating groups. The necessary experience is given to the first aid groups at exercises with as real as possible a background. These are often organized in cooperation with the public authorities and other organizations close to the Red Cross. The Red Cross activities include also home nursing in addition to first aid training. The aim is to make at least one person capable of rendering first aid and with a basic medical knowledge available to each home. The courses in first aid and home nursing are very closely linked. The organization work also requires knowledge. The mere desire of the voluntary members to work for the Red Cross is no longer sufficient. The various branches of the organization work require their own training, and this is given the members of the groups in the training center of the Finnish Red Cross in Helsinki. Finland is divided into 15 districts for the administration of Red Cross work. The district offices direct the work of the local sections and act as a connecting link between them and the central administration. In addition to the organization work, many district offices also serve the population in their area by maintaining different institutions within public health and the social sector. The responsibility for the direction of the actual field work rests on the district directors and district nurses. Once more, some section is in need of advice, and so begins the trip of the district nurse along the familiar roads she knows so well from numerous previous journeys. One of the most pleasant forms of Red Cross activities is the Friends Service. This is directed to such patients and individuals in hospitals, old people's homes, similar institutions and even private homes who have no relatives. Everybody appreciates a visit that breaks the monotony of hospital life, a small favor from a friend, or even the receipt of, for instance, a book. The Friends Service offers limitless new scope for action to persons interested in this field. The Plastic Surgery Hospital of the Finnish Red Cross in Helsinki treats patients with congenital malformations and other cases with injuries requiring plastic surgery, caused by, for instance, cancer or accidents. The hospital also gives special training for doctors and nurses. Operations on children suffering from cleft palates and hair lips form an important part of the hospital's activity. The treatment of these patients is later continued with dental treatment administered in connection with a home for speech defective children. This home is maintained by the Red Cross under the supervision of the Plastic Surgery Hospital in Helsinki. The children in this home also receive speech training in a clinic that specializes in this field.
Jos sinä, Anne, laulat nyt meille sen pienet sammakot ja sano siinä teette, kun oot voimakas.
Pienet sammakot, ne lystittäitä on. Ei korvia, ei hän elaisinkaan.
This home also serves the children arriving from the country to Helsinki in order to receive after treatment. The children stay in this home from 1 to 3 months. The Finnish Red Cross Artificial Limbs Workshop in Helsinki, established originally to serve the needs of the war disabled, still operates as before, although today there are just as many civilians among the clients. The Finnish Red Cross Workshop has branches in 4 other towns in Finland. The workshop also manufactures various medical supplies for home nursing and for first aid. The Red Cross has distributed about 100 of their own ambulances in the districts where they're most needed. These ambulances operate to a great extent on a voluntary basis. One of the most important activities in modern care of old people is home help. Its objective is to support old people and make it possible for them to stay in their own homes. This support is given by trained home helps, who assist with the housework. The Finnish Red Cross has, in cooperation with others, established a special organization, the Home Help Center, in order to direct this work. These activities are in many places carried out together with the public authorities. The Red Cross also wants to stimulate old people with entertainment and recreation by providing access to numerous old people's clubs within the organization. Life in a summer camp located by a lake with a chance of enjoying a traditional Finnish sauna, with favorite hobby activities, hiking and social life together with other people of the same age, all together provide for a rich and pleasant day for people on the evening side of life. Blood saves lives is a slogan which is painted on all the cars belonging to the Finnish Red Cross Blood Transfusion Service. The Blood Transfusion Service has almost become a national movement in Finland. So many are the donors who give their blood voluntarily and without financial compensation to those in need, as a gift from unknown to unknown. The Finnish Red Cross has been in charge of the blood transfusion services in Finland since 1948 and has created a system which is regarded as one of the most efficient in the world today. A mechanized community, traffic, an accelerated rhythm of life, they all take their toll. Accidents increase in number. Under these circumstances, the demand becomes ever larger for the plastic bags which are annually filled with the life-supporting liquid that only the human organism can produce. In addition to receiving and donating blood, the Blood Transfusion Service performs in its own laboratories extensive scientific blood research, and thus participates in the development of medical science. The Red Cross is primarily an organization prepared for emergencies. It's expected to give as speedy assistance as possible in all types of accidents and disasters. In order to be capable of fulfilling these demands, the Finnish Red Cross needs, in addition to trained personnel, material preparedness. The essential part of the latter is the central store of the Finnish Red Cross. This contains all the necessary materials for the rescue services. The central store serves both Finland and foreign countries. It also serves victims of fires in Finland, as well as those who've lost their homes in floods and earthquakes outside the borders of Finland. The responsibility of the Red Cross towards people in distress knows no frontiers. Without youth, no nation has a future. For this reason, it's important that today's younger generation, at an early stage, accepts that the world of tomorrow will be built on it. The youth work of the Red Cross aims at educating the young to realize their responsibility for the well-being of others and the increasing of mutual understanding at an international level. The international training camps, even the working camps, which represent one of the special forms of Red Cross youth activities, are ideal for the removal of the frontiers between nations. At these camps, the young hold out a helping hand to those in difficulties. A day has ended. The same day that saw life being born somewhere, that saw a human being receiving help somewhere else, and during which a young man grew up and reached the evening of his life. This day, however, was only one of many, an interphase in the work that all over the world is being performed for the benefit of man and all people.
Punaisen Ristin tehtävänä on tukea viranomaisia sellaisilla
The Secretary General of the Finnish Red Cross, Mr. Kai J. Warras, states that the object of the Red Cross is to assist and support the public authorities in fields of public health and social work where it's needed in the community. The activity of the Red Cross is based on the contributions of its voluntary members. This contribution alone makes it possible for the organization to render speedy help when needed. The community develops and becomes more mechanized, but the work of the voluntary members is always needed. This voluntary work has grown from the basic principle of the Red Cross, the mutual common responsibility between people. The main object of the Finnish Red Cross is to help people in distress, both in Finland and beyond her borders. Every citizen can take part in this work, for Red Cross work will go on. It's needed today as well as tomorrow.